Blexit. Let's welcome to the stage the founder and president of Turning Point USA, Charlie Kirk.
Hello, everybody. Thank you. Wow, what an intro. This is something. Let's give it up for Pierre. He's doing a great job, isn't he? Great to see you guys here. So I don't want to talk for too long. I want to do some questions. But first and foremost, I just love the fact that Blexit is now a part of Turning Point USA. And how are you? Great to see you. And, you know, Candace started Blexit, and Candace is amazing. She'll be here tomorrow, by the way, and she'll be giving a big speech. And this is one of the most important things happening in the country, because if we are serious about expanding the conservative movement and talking to communities that don't always hear the conservative message, it definitely includes the black community. And, you know, I'd always be told by, you know, certain individuals, they ask me, why is it that black Americans are so far on the left? And, you know, it was Candace Owens who first told me. She said, they should not be Marxists or on board with all this nonsense. She said, instead, the black community is one that is rooted in faith, in family, and tradition. And by the way, I have learned over the last couple of years especially that it does not require pandering. And so the speech I'm about to give is the same answers that I will give on a college campus or in a church, because I believe that black America, like all Americans, are sick of pandering, and they want the truth and honesty, and not just kind of, oh, I'm going to do this one thing for this community, and when it's all rooted in lies and deception and nonsense. The biggest thing that I want to talk about, though, is a return to God as the center of our society. And this is one of the most important things that we need to talk about. If we are honest with ourselves, black America has been used and abused by the secular left over the last couple of decades. And I believe as we have removed God as the center of our society, every community in America has suffered, but especially the black community. You see, when you remove God as the center of your society, something else becomes your God. There is no such thing as an atheist. There is no such thing as someone who is agnostic. Instead, you worship something at its core. And it is a tragedy, because black America is a faithful community, and a portion of the country with high church attendance understands that without this moral center or this moral core, you do not actually have a nation. You have something that once would resemble a country before. And so I look back to the 10 Commandments, and I say, if we could restore the 10 Commandments, America would be in a much better place. If we could just follow the 10 Commandments, and one in particular, by the way, who can name all 10 Commandments off the top of your head? Anyone? Okay, no, I won't put you on the spot. Well, let's go through them. I think it's important. Number one, and this is debated, it starts with this: I am the Lord your God who delivered you out of the house of bondage of Egypt. This is very important. God starts the 10 Commandments with a statement reminding his chosen people that he loves liberty, that he does not want his people to live as slaves or live as victims, but instead as victors. The 10 Commandments starts with a statement that I am the Lord that delivered you from bondage and delivered you from slavery and brought you now to freedom and to liberty. Goes on to say that have no other gods before me. Now you might say, well, that one, you know, we don't do that in America. Well, think about the God of sex, or the God of self, or how about this one, that ridiculous pride flag that they have flying out there. I mean, by the way, I'm no expert, but I can't imagine the average black patriot is okay with that ridiculous pride flag flying out there. It's got like the triangle and the circle and all that nonsense. Remember, pride is a sin, everybody. Okay, second one, which is you shall have no graven images, or you shall have no idols. The third of the 10 Commandments, which of course is forgotten very often, which is you shall not carry the Lord's name in vain. This is very important, which it says you shall not take the Lord's name in vain, which can easily be said you shall not say, oh my. That's half true, but you know what it's really saying in Hebrew? You shall not do evil in the name of God. Let me be clear. people that have used and abused the black community in the name of God have committed the most grievous sin against the Lord. When you do evil in the name of God, you are giving religion a bad name. The fourth commandment, very important, and I do this every week. This week will be an exception. For 6 days you shall work, for 1 day you shall rest, and to keep the Sabbath day holy. How many of you wish that we had a Sabbath back in this country and a day to honor God and not just always in this constant circle of nonsense? By the way, every one of you can make that decision and say, I'm going to actually take a Sabbath and to honor God for 1 day. For 6 days you shall work. Now, this is so important. In the book of Deuteronomy, when that commandment is repeated, it is repeated exactly the same, except in the book of Deuteronomy it says, for 7 days you used to work in Egypt, and only slaves will work all 7 days. You could be very rich and very wealthy, but if you work all 7 days and do not rest, you are a rich slave. Something to think about. The fifth commandment, which is the bridge between the laws of God and the laws between men, is the one commandment that the American left and Marxists have perpetrated the most on the black community, which is the fifth commandment is about strong families. We need to rebuild the black family in America, and we need to make it a strong presence. The fifth commandment is this: honor your mother and father, so that you may live long in the land of which you are in. Now, think about that. The fifth commandment is the only commandment that involves your country and involves a promise. Honor your mother and father so that you may live long in the land of which you are in. If you want to save America, we need to rebuild the American family. If we want to save our nation. Now, some of you might say, what does it mean to honor your parents? It means that you must treat them heavily, which is literally what it means in Hebrew. It means even if you don't get along with them, you must honor them for who they are. And a failure to do that does what? Who then becomes your parents if you don't do that? The government becomes your parents. And what has happened in black America and communities across the country is we've no longer honored our parents, and we've now found ourselves married or sons or daughters of the federal government. I can go through 6, 7, 8, 9, or 10 if you guys wish, which of course is do not give false testimony against your neighbor, thou shalt not murder, thou shalt not commit adultery, thou shalt not steal, and then thou shalt not covet. Those 10 commandments, if we reinstitute those as a bedrock of American society, we would be in a much better place. Instead, we've turned our back on this idea of a transcendent moral order, and instead, we have a secular totalitarianism that has crept in. If I'm going to be honest with you, I see a revival and awakening happening in all communities, but especially the black community in this country. For far too long, black America has been used as tools by the left as trying to say, keep on voting for us, keep on supporting us. I believe that black America can be revitalized, can be wealthier, can be richer, can have stronger families, and I refuse to live under the bigotry of low expectations that the left constantly uses. I find it repulsive and insulting that Merrick Garland, the Attorney General, Department of Justice, says that black Americans are too stupid to be able to have voter ID. Do you guys think that black Americans are too stupid to have voter ID? I think that is repulsive and silly and outrageous. So I'll close with this, and then we'll do some questions, everybody, that if we look at the last 60 years, if we are honest with ourselves, have been detrimental for black America. Incomes going down. In 1965, 25% of black Americans had a mother and 75% had a mother and father when they were raised. That is now down to 25%. 3 out of 4 of black Americans are raised without a solid mother and father in the home. If we're serious about saving the country, we must rebuild the family. However, the question is, do people want to be free? Freedom and liberty is very, very difficult. When God's chosen people, the Hebrews, left Egypt and went into the wilderness, after a couple of days, they started complaining. They said, God, and this is in Numbers 14, you could fact check me on this. God, we are tired of eating cucumbers, leeks, and melons. We are tired of eating manna. We want to go back to Egypt, slavery. where at least we were able to eat meat. The question you need to ask yourself is, do people want to be free? I think freedom is a better way of living, but comfortable slavery is very tempting. And we are here to try to break those shackles free and to try to make all Americans live with a better future and more prosperity. Thank you, guys. Let's do some questions with the time I have remaining. How are we doing questions? Pierre will go around. Yes, ma'am. Well, I can give you the mic if you want. Do we have a mic runner? If not, I'll just give you my mic. Come on up.
Good. Thank you, Charlie. I came from another country. I came from Brazil. And I value everything that I see here in America. I don't take America for granted. I'm also an abortion survivor. I survived for such time as this. And one thing that impressed me the most, coming and serving in Blexit for many years, when the merger happened, Charlie, a lot of people asked, why did you do this? Why did you merge, why do you link hands with the black community? And came and took over, not took over, but embraced Blexit. What came to your mind and your heart when you did that?
Well, I'll take that mic back. Yes, thank you. So first and foremost, that I have always had a focus and a heart for Black America, because I believe that Black America could be and should be doing so much better in this country, and has been let down so much by left-wing ideas, left-wing policies, defund the police, destroy the American family. And so I wanted to try to do our role. And I think that the path forward is not going to be more pandering or more free stuff. It's going to be a message of liberty, a message of freedom, and one that resonates with core values that are shared in Black America. And I think it's a great fit for us at Turning Point USA, and I can't say enough stuff about you and the Blexit team and Pierre. It's just been amazing. And God bless Brandon Tatum, Pierre, and Candace Owens for their original vision to get this movement started. Yes, ma'am.
What do you think is the best way to refocus on faith and family, especially within the Black community, because there's a lot of single parent homes and single mother homes?
Yeah, and this, just to be very clear, single motherhood is not just in Black America. All communities in America are seeing a massive increase in single motherhood, including white communities, Hispanic communities, Asian communities. The best thing that we must first do is that we as men, regardless of your race, must not put up with men who impregnate women and abandon them, period. We should never put up with that. That needs to become a cultural toxin, that if you are a man and you impregnate anybody of any race, this is a racially blind topic, okay? And you then abandon that individual, you are scum to me. And they need to be treated like that, which is these poor young ladies then have to raise these children without a father around. And we've just welcomed our second kid. We now have a baby boy, 1 month old, praise God. And boy, did God make boys and girls different, and men and women different, right? That's why I just laugh at this trans garbage that they are pushing. And it is garbage. And one of the ways so the first way we rebuild the Black family is by not putting up we as men by doing that. And the second thing is that we must be very clear that subsidizing single motherhood in this country has been an abomination. When Lyndon Baines Johnson came into the Great Society program and started to subsidize single motherhood, it hurt all communities. We should be doing the opposite. We should be instead subsidizing nuclear families and families that are staying together and that are loyally married. So God bless you. Thank you so much. Yes, ma'am. Moms for Liberty. I love Moms for Liberty.
Yes, sir. So my name is Tia Bess, and I'm the National Director of Engagement with Moms for Liberty. Woo! All the way from the free state of Florida. So people like myself, as a woman of color, and when I'm standing up to stop the indoctrination in our schools, we're called things like tokens, racists, bigots, Uncle Toms. What can we do to continue to stand up for our community? What's your advice for people like me in positions?
Well, and I want to make sure I reiterate this. For those of you that are Black conservatives and outspoken, you are some of the most courageous people in the conservative movement, because you have to experience criticism all the time. I am inspired by the backlash, the name calling, the smearing, the slandering. And it's very simple. Don't give up and don't give in, because these people want you to surrender. They want you to bend a knee. You know what is right, and double and triple down. And the left, I know this is a simplification. I want you to think about this. At the core, what is the left? They're a bunch of name callers. That's it. They call you names hoping that you will surrender. The game has changed, everybody. We don't care what names you call us. We stand on truth, and we are here to take this country back. Yes, ma'am.
So I wanted to know, when it comes to local non-citizen votings, we get it, like they pay taxes and everything. I just wanted your viewpoint on non-citizen voting.
Yeah, so I think that every non-citizen, if they're here illegally, should be returned to their country of origin. And so I know that might be a radical view, but let me talk about this, at least how I think Black America should view this, if you will, for a second. If there was one community that is being most abused by the southern open border, it is Black America, where we are going to import 3.5 million people to compete for jobs, who largely then populate your schools, who then are in your communities. And let me be very clear, I come from a white area in Chicago, okay? They're not going to those communities, everybody. They're going into Black communities. And they hate you so much. I'm gonna say that. The left hates you so much, and they think so low of you that you're just supposed to take it. When Donald Trump or myself says Americans first, we mean all Americans first, not foreigners. And I believe if there's one community we have a moral obligation to put first, it is Black Americans above Nicaraguans and Venezuelans who come across the southern border and break our laws. So deport them all and put Americans first. Thank you.
Hi, how are you? Good. My question is, if you were the president tomorrow, what would you do to try to fix the economy?
Say that again, I'm having trouble hearing you.
Oh, if you were the president tomorrow, what would you do to fix the economy?
Okay, if I was president tomorrow, I'm not gonna be president tomorrow, nor president ever, I don't know. Very simple. Number one, we need to radically cut federal spending, balance our budget, and get inflation under control. That is number one. Number two is that anybody earning less than $100,000 a year, you should not have any taxes on your paycheck under FICA, period. We should get rid of all the FICA taxes. Number three, I think President Trump is right in his policy proposal. No taxes on tips, period. The working class of this country should get a tax cut. And then finally, is that we need to invest in our entrepreneurs and give them a green light to create wealth and create business and to create prosperity. And finally, we need to drill, baby, drill. We need to get those gas prices down and use that liquid gold. God bless you. Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
Hello, Charlie. You mentioned quite a few times in your speech that the left panders to Black people. Have there been any instances where the right has pandered to Black people? And if so, what does that look like?
No, I'm sure. I mean, I wouldn't be able to say that off the top of my head. I mean, all people pander. It's just, it's not really a matter of, like, the conservative movement doesn't always have political control to be able to necessarily pander. Let me give you an example of what pandering looks like. When Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez or Kamala Harris speaks in front of a Black audience, they do something called code switching. Do you know what code switching is? They'll start talking in Black slang. You can look it up, by the way. And I'll give you an example of pandering. Hillary Clinton is sitting with Charlemagne the God on the Breakfast Club, and they're kind of chatting, and she talks about how much she likes hot sauce, and she has hot sauce in her purse. That is like naked, outright racist pandering, by the way, okay? And so I'm sure there's instances of people on the right that do that. I can't think of any of it. But here, regardless you're on the right or left, my message is this, is that your agenda for the American people needs to be the same regardless of race or background, because these are universal human truths. Strong families, strong economy, lower crime, more police, and less illegal immigration. So thank you very much. Appreciate the question. Yes, ma'am.
I'm sorry, my voice is a little gone. But with this election being so important, if Trump asked you for advice on who you would pick for a VP, who would you suggest to him?
I love that. So there's really only two or three options left. I'm all in for J.D. Vance to become the vice president. I love that. Trump Vance right there. I love it. So, but yeah, there's only two or three options left. It's Marco Rubio, Doug Burgum, or J.D. Vance. Those are the three finalists. And J.D. Vance, by far, I want to get a copy of one of those. So I love it. Thank you so much. I think I have time for one or two more. Yes.
Oh, thank you. Hi, Charlie. I grew up in Oregon, and 45 minutes south of Portland, if that tells you anything. And a lot of my family is liberal, but I also want to, honor them and everything. And the first thing when I said I was coming here, they said to me was, please be careful. But here I've met some of the most tolerant people. I've met a bunch of new friends. I go to college in San Antonio, Texas now. And I've actually started a chapter because I just respect you and what you do so much. And so my question to you is, when debating nonsense, when debating stupidity, I get so angry that just people can believe this crap that everything leaves my head. Everything leaves my head and I turn into a stumbling idiot. And so how do you remain calm with putting up with so much crap and still get ideas to go through?
Yeah, you have to practice it. So knowing what you believe and why you believe it and rehearsing it with your friends. The best thing you could do is to get in debates, friendly debates with liberal friends of yours that are one-on-one or two-on-two, and that will really help fasten your ability. I've been doing this for 12 years. I've now spoken publicly over 25,000 hours in the last 12 years, giving thousands and thousands of speeches. I do 3 hours of radio a day. It doesn't come easily, but over a period of time, you get much better and better at it. So God bless you, man. Thank you so much. We'll take two more. We'll go right here. Actually, maybe three more if we can. Yes.
How's it going,
okay,
Charlie?
Pierre? Is that okay? Yeah, all right, fine, yes.
My name is Brock Appia. I'm a part of the Cartier Family YouTube channel. We started off, thinking, more left-leaning, and then as we just progressed and matured and watched people like Candace Owens, Brandon Tatum, we came to the right. And I just want to know, how is it that the Democratic Party got such a grip on black people when they were the party that was for slavery and for all the things that are detrimental to black people?
Amen. It's a complex question. Part of the question involves, in the 1960s and 1970s, like a pseudo switch that allegedly happened, where the parties actually never really switched, is that they've actually kept their same ideology, which is this, is that whether it be, and this is going to be controversial and I don't care, whether it be the plantation or whether it be government benefits, is that the philosophy of the American left is to keep black Americans under their control. For conservatives, whether it be Abraham Lincoln's Emancipation Proclamation or our conservative agenda today, our agenda is to liberate black Americans to their greatest potential and to their greatest heights. So the parties actually never really switched, is that the American left propagandized huge groups of the American population, saying that if you vote for conservatives, if you embrace conservative opinions, you are a racist, right? And they used that as the #1 issue in the country, and it really, really worked, unfortunately. We are now pushing back on that, hopefully successfully and effectively. And look, the answers are, the question is very clear. Has black America materially improved over the last 60 years of near complete left-wing control? And the answer is no. They can never answer that question. They have spent $30 trillion. They have won every mayor's race, every local election race. They've controlled every public policy debate. They've controlled almost every rapper and every cultural institution for 30 years. And black America is poorer per capita than before they started their monopoly, period. The evidence is the cities are more murderous, the families are more broken, people's incomes are more down, black businesses are less prosperous. Why? It's because their value set is not about liberation, it is about control. They don't want you to be able to live free, they just want you to vote for them. Thank you so much, I appreciate it, thank you. Yes, we'll do two more, 1, 2, and then I got to run. Yes, ma'am.
Hi there, I'm Destiny, Assistant Director for the Blexit, Maryland chapter. Yes, I was wondering what action you would recommend for someone who's interested in being in politics, but doesn't want to get into student debt and go through the whole hoopla and all that.
Yeah, college is a scam, by the way. And just so we're clear, it's a scam that really hurts black Americans a lot, which does not get talked about a lot, from the student loan debt to all that nonsense. So, here's my first piece of advice. Go find someone running for political office. Say, I will volunteer for you. I will intern for you. Pay me minimum wage. I will outwork everybody. And politics is a meritocracy. You will move yourself up really, really fast. And we'd maybe love to have you work at Turning Point Action or Turning Point USA one day. So God bless you. You have a great smile. Thank you so much. Last question. Yes, ma'am.
You got a sweatshirt.
Oh, I got my Trump Vance thing? I'm going to have the president sign that. So, yeah, I love that. Thank you. I love that. It's great. I love it. Thank you. Yes.
Hi, Charlie. It's a very honor to be here right
Thank
now.
you.
I just wanted to piggyback off what you were saying to the guy in front of me. This is what you were talking about bringing families back together, the black family back together, and I just want to know, what would you do? Because it's a very sinister, old, something that's going on that's deeper than we can just say, oh, we're just going to fix that. Like, there's something that they've planned for years, and I don't see how we can get out of it because a lot of our black people want to be slaves.
Well, so that, again, this is a very important point. If you want to be a slave, you'll continue to be a slave. Yeah. But the message that we as Christians believe is that Jesus Christ breaks you free from that slavery, and we must send that message. Again, let's go back to the Bible. That God's chosen people were out of slavery into freedom, and they said, bring us back to slavery because the food was better. I want you to think about that. Bring us back to being a slave because the food was better. It's going to require a message of a religious transformation, a revival, and an awakening. But I'm very hopeful. Yes, ma'am. Can you, yeah, please.
I'm sorry, one more thing. Just like they're mad at Candace for saying Christ is king. You see?
Christ is king, by the way, just so we're
they're thank you. So there is this sinister movement that's getting worse and worse.
Yes, but I think at the core, it's a spiritual battle. And this is why I am so hopeful for Black America. I will speak, by the way, at any Black church, in any adversarial environment you guys want to bring me. I don't care what they say at me. I don't care. Because I believe this is a spiritual war, and I know that what we are advancing is rooted in Scripture, and that we do not struggle against flesh and blood, but against principalities of darkness. And so at its core, is that it's John 10:10, and I'll close with this. John 10:10 it says, the enemy has come to lie, steal, cheat, and destroy. But I, Jesus Christ, have come to give life and life more abundantly. With that, I am hopeful. God bless you guys, and thank you so much.